We're going to take a quick look at libraries in Dreamweaver. The whole purpose of libraries is that we can take a piece of HTML code within our file and put it in an external file and use that as a central reference. So kind of parallel to how we use CSS in an external file, we like to put all of our rules into that one central file that's shared across all the pages. Then if we need to update a style sheet, we go update that external file. It updates all of our pages. So for libraries here, we can take a piece of HTML. In this case, I'm going to take my navigation at the top of my page, and I'm going to take the paragraph within my footer. I can put them in an external file that's then shared. If I have any updates to do to those, I can go update that external library file, and it will turn around and update all of my pages for me. So that's the purpose of libraries. Libraries are a tool within Dreamweaver. This is not really HTML. You're not going to see this in any other program. The browser doesn't know that you're doing this. And I'll show you specifically in the code how that can be. So I have a set of demo files here, similar ones that we've been using. So I've got a libraries folder out here with an about, a contact, an index, and a products page. 4 different pages out there. Have an images folder, have a style sheet. So to get us started, I'm working in our home page right now. And I simply just need to go select the code that I want to go out into the shared file. So here's my top nav div. That's the entire div that is sitting up at the top there. I don't think I want to put the whole thing in the library. What I really want is just the contents of it. So looking here in code, I can find the unordered list. So there's the full UL that makes up the content. That's what I want to go put within my shared library. So once I highlight that, I need to go find my Assets panel. If you don't see it, go up to Window. There's Assets. We've used Assets just once or twice before using the Images tab up here. There's the images within my root folder. But down at the very bottom here, there's a Library tab. So click on that. And that's, excuse me, I had to refresh. It was showing something old. So click on the Library tab right there. I don't have any libraries right now, but I want to create one. So with my code selected here, the thing that I want to share, go to the Assets tab, Library panel, go down to the bottom and find this icon that looks like a page with a plus sign, and that's a new library item. So I click on that one. Now this gives me a warning. It says the selection may not look the same when placed in other documents because the style sheet information is not copied with it. So obviously I'm pulling just some HTML code. There's no styling going with it. So if you look at this library file on its own, it won't be styled the same as you see on this page. If I place it on a new page or a different page, it may look different. It would be different if it does not link to my CSS that I'm using here, or if it has different CSS. Okay, so I'm going to click on OK. It gives me a default name of 1. Let's give it a better name. Let's call it Navigation, and hit Enter. So I've created my first library here. Now looking back over here, you see that it still shows it, but I'm now unable to edit it. I can't grab anything in it, and it highlights it in yellow. If I go to Live, it still looks the same that way. It still functions, but it won't let me edit it here. If I look in the code view, same type of thing. It's highlighted it all in yellow. There's the full UL, everything that I want in the shared library. You notice that it's added a little bit more code to it. So it's added this line at the top right here. And this is an HTML comment. So the bracket, exclamation, dash, dash, that's the beginning of a comment in HTML, all the way up until you reach this dash, dash bracket. That makes all of that a comment. So it's put a comment in here, but Dreamweaver is using the contents of this comment. So it looks for this tag right here, this #begin library item, and it knows that you're working with a library, and then it gives it the location. So sitting in a library folder, we now have navigation.lbi. So Dreamweaver is using the contents of this comment, though the browser will never look at it. And it ends with a comment again down here, so you see the end library item. So that's how Dreamweaver knows that that's the end of your library. Okay, let's go add one more to our page. I also want to put the paragraph that is in my footer. So here's my footer down here. There's my footer div. And here's the paragraph that resides in it. So I want all the content of my footer to be in a library. So I'm going to highlight that paragraph. And again, I'm coming back over to the Assets panel, to the Library tab, and I'm going to create another library. I get the same warning. And I'm going to name this one Footer. So you see it does the same type of thing. Highlights it in yellow here. I can't edit it. So now I've created two libraries, one for my navigation, one for my footer content down here. I'm going to go up and say save. So I both create the library and it places it in my file, replacing the old content. Does that all at the same time. Now for this to be truly valuable, I need to put it on all of the pages of my site. So I'm going to go back over to Files and open my other pages. There's About, Contact, and Products. And then I'm going to need my Assets panel back. And I'm just going to step through each of these pages and replace the code. In other words, I'm going to come here, find the UL that makes up my top navigation. See, that's not a library right now. And I'm going to come over here and select the navigation library and insert. So you notice that I replaced my UL with the library version of it, okay? So it only helps me if they're all linked together to the same library. I'm going to come down here and select the footer paragraph. Come select the footer library and insert. So I'm replacing those. Keep going to contact. I'm going to do the same thing on my contact page. I select the unordered list within top nav. I'm going to replace it by selecting the navigation library and insert. Down to my footer, select its paragraph. Select the footer library and insert it. Almost there, one more page. The products. Come select the unordered list for my navigation. Select the navigation library and insert it. And the last one, go down to my footer. Select the paragraph of content there. Select my footer library and insert it. So now all of my pages are the same. So products has two libraries, contact has two libraries, about has two libraries, and index where I started has its two libraries. So I'm going to go do a save all. Okay, so the real power in this now is to go and make changes in the library file and let it update all of my pages. So I just closed most of my pages there. So I can go back over here to Assets. There's Navigation. So if I wanted to add another piece of navigation, I could just modify this, add another line down here to my unordered list. Or I'm going to go with the easy one. I'm going to go open my footer, and I notice that my year is wrong here. But I could go change an email address, I could add links, anything like that. I'm going to highlight 2013 and change it to 2014. Then when I come up here to File and say Save, it's going to ask me whether it should update the library items. So update library items in these files, and it lists all 4 of my pages because it's used in all of them. I'm going to say Update. It runs through, so it's using the cache that it has created. It examined 4 files, it updated all 4 of them. So then right here it says Done, so I can close this window. I'm going to go close my library file, and now I can see that it's changed it to 2014 on my home page. If I go to each of my pages, see About has become 2014 as well. Contact is 2014. Products is 2014. So it updated all of my files for me just by changing that one piece of external code. Also do want to point out, let's see, I'm in my Files panel. I want to show you where the library folder is. See, now I'm working right now in my Project 4 demo folder. I have a libraries folder I'm working in. These are my files that I'm working with. Okay, right there. Notice it didn't put anything there. If I scroll, actually let's close this folder. Notice that I have a library folder here. So it just puts it loose in my root folder. It's a little odd in this case, but it's because I'm working in these little subfolders. Most of the time when we're working on a website, we'll be working in the general root folder here, and so this library folder makes more sense. You can come to this library folder and open your libraries from here as well. That works just as well. Okay, so that's what libraries do for us. Allows us to take a piece of HTML, put it in an external file, do that across multiple pages. Then we have that one external file to make updates to, thus updating all of our pages at the same time.